Hello, everyone. Today we will be talking about action, drama movie called Dear John. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. At the beginning of the story, there is a man surfing on the beach. He is John, a staff sergeant in the United States Army Special Forces. John came back home for 2 weeks off. He met a group of friends while relaxing on the bridge. A girl's bag accidentally fell into the water. After seeing that, John jumped into the water and picked it up. The girl who owned the bag, she thanks John and introduced herself. The girl's name is Savannah. She is a college student who returns to her beach house on summer vacation. She is thankful that there is a bonfire tonight at her beach house and invites him. At first, John politely tries to decline. My father would wait for dinner at house. Soon after, he accepted. John sit with Randy, one of Savannah's friend, and then Savannah join and give a bottle of beer and sits beside him. While John and Savannah were talking, a little boy named Alan, he is an autistic kid, and his father Tin arrived. They met John and introduced themselves. They are making small talk and left. Although Tin is neighbors with Savannah, they have a family-like relationship. John and Savannah talk until late at night. They enjoy gazing at the moon. Before saying goodbye, Savannah accepted for dinner the next day and go on a date. On the way back to John's house, he met with Tin and take him with their car. John arrives home. His father is studying his coins. The next day evening, he took his father's car and told him I had an appointment with a girl. They enter to the restaurant. The owner approaches to John rudely. They tell he doesn't want any trouble there. John promised to cause no problem. Savannah is curious about John. She is requested to meet John's father. John takes Savannah to his home. John introduced her to his father. John's father was a collector of coin and a cool person. John dropped Savannah home. Before getting out of the car, Savannah kissed to John. In the following day, Savannah was busy. She took John to visit the place. Savannah and friend were building a house for those who lost their homes due to the storm. John so impressed to her. How wonderful woman she was. Then suddenly the rain started. The twos take shelter under a board. They look each other kiss and follow their emotion. They become a nice couple. Then John and Savannah are always together. As the days slowly pass by, Savannah's return to school is getting closer. John also promised that he would come back and see her after 12 months in military. John say he might return before she finished school. Savannah says after she finished collage, she will help people special need. She mentioned John's father feel autistic like Alan. John upset and left her. John gets into a fight with Savannah's friend Randy and in the process accidentally punches Tim. Savannah apologizes to Tim. The next day, John went to Savannah's house, but he didn't see her. John apologizes Tim he intends to his injuries. Tim forgives him. Therefore, he wrote a letter for Savannah and gave it to Tin. In the evening, John and father eating dinner. Savannah followed John's house. They apologize each other. Before taking apart, they promised to write everything what happened, and then she went back to college. Savannah go with tear eye. The next day, John also went back to Army. According to military regulations, John is not required to tell where he is on the front line, but he writes letters to Savannah every activity. Savannah also write everything that is happening in her lives. Savannah teaches little Alan to ride a horse, writes to John and consults him about opening a summer camp for children. John says that he misses Savannah very much on the quiet nights, and Savannah also thinks about John on every sleepless night. They wrote more letters to each other. Then Savannah visits John's father and they talk about coin and John. Savannah asks John about John's father's favorite coin. John wrote a story about that coin when he was 7 years old. He get that coin when he buy ice cream. He didn't recognize what that coin, so he show her father. His father show that coin to a mule store. The man offered $20 for it. They show another dealer who told the mule was worth $4,000. He advised to keep. In 30 to 40 years, it's worth more than $4,000. And then John's father obsessed with them, until John tell him to stop that collection, while John is looking forward to see Savannah. One of the accident happened, that is 9/11. John Sr. gave them 2 days leave to think about extension. He go back to Savannah. They prepare to meet Savannah parents. John father prepare cake for them. And then they depart to meet Savannah parents. On their way, John father afraid of to meet them. Then they take him home. He tells them to go without him. John meet Randy and Tim, too. Savannah parents are impressed by John. Then they talk about their country future. In this discussion, Savannah know John has decided to take an extension. Savannah is storms off. She tell John to leave. John explain he want to live with her, but he also want to serve for country. Finally, Savannah know well his feeling. Since they haven't seen each other 2 years, they spent that night together. Savannah sent John to airport. John's father also arrived there. In the following month, they wrote letter each other. After 2 or 3 months, Savannah letter haven't arrived to John. He is still waiting. One day, John finally received a letter from Savannah. Savannah writes that she have a new someone, and they have been engaged. June burns all her letter and what could have gone wrong. He didn't realize who is that guy and how close they are. In the following day, John and soldiers are round their duty. One of the Afghani man stopped their jeep and tried to tell them something. John makes a decision to check that place. They are looking carefully to the enemy. In this moment, one of his buddy gets shot. John take him to safe place. The bulletproof vest saves his friend. Suddenly, 2 shots are fired at him. In his mind, he thought about Coin and Savannah. He feel like he is Coin of United States Army. Now he has just 2 whole. The last things that entered his mind before he blacked out was you. When John wakes up, he arrived a hospital in Germany. 3 months later, John recovery from damage. He extended to serve in military. 4 more years pass. In 2007, John is sent home because his father have a stroke. He go to the hospital and asked his father's situation. John go back home and he look his father favorite coin. And then he write down all his feelings. The next day, John's father has been removed from the room. John gives his dad the letter and he read it. He read and cry and feel guilty for his father when he needed him. His father hold his son's arm. John rests his dead on his dad's chest. In a few days, John's father passed away. He feels so lonely and upset. Finally, John thought to see Savannah. He visit to meet her, but is surprised. She closed the summer camp after opening 2 to 3 months because her family depressed economy. John tells her the reason he has come home and his father news. They have a tea and make a small talk. Suddenly, phone is ringing. When Savannah hold, he see a picture on the wall. Is surprised to find that she married with Tim. She tells him that Tim has cancer. She takes John to see him in the hospital. At the hospital, Alan is with his dad, Tim. Tim apologizes to him for everything that happened while he was so far away. He tells John Savannah still loves him. Savannah has never looked at him as she has looked at John. And then Savannah and John come back home. While still seated in the car, Savannah tells her difficulty and feeling. Savannah invite John to have dinner. In dinner, John asks her, when her face in difficulty, why her didn't call him and give him an explanation for her decision. Savannah reveals that just hear his voice would have made her change her mind. In that time, Tim was sick and he needed somebody to take care of Alan. Savannah was confused and she didn't realize that what to do. Savannah breaks down and explain. John hug her closely. After they reconcile, Savannah show all his letter. Accidentally, their clothes are wet. She goes to the bathroom to change. And then, they look each other and before nothing going to happen, John decided to go back home. He says goodbye. Savannah tears in her eyes and left. The next day, John makes a decision to sell all of his father's coin, except he left his father's favorite coin. The money he got from the sale, he donates it for Tim's treatment. He go back to the army. John receives a letter from Savannah again. She tells they received an anonymous donation for Tim's treatment, but he come back home after 2 months he passed away. She talks about how time always runs. She always remembered John and her memories. She is hopeful that she'll see him again one day. The final scene. John is a civilian now. He sees Savannah in a coffee shop and they make eye contact. John embraced Savannah and the film finished here. So what do you think about this movie? Let me know in the comment below. If you like this movie, like and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.